Still, if you're feeling struggle to speak English, still if you're feeling hesitate to speak in front of anybody, in this video I'm going to share some beautiful points, the easiest way to become fluent in English, as you have seen in thumbnail. So try to watch this video till then. Definitely you're going to find some fantastic techniques where you can apply in your real life while practicing English. So try to watch this video till then. You'll find some solutions. First point is mimic accent. Yes, you heard me right. Following this technique is very important in learning a language. What I mean to say is, following this technique like mimic accent, how it works in real life in getting fluency in English. Say, whenever you try to watch some videos or podcasts or movies, just try to mimic them. Try to mimic the accent, right? So there will be multiple accents like a British accent and American accent and Indian accent. In English itself, there will be so many accents, but which is the accent you need to speak fluently in English and which is accent you are looking for, right? So if you know and if you are clear about that accent, try to watch those kind of videos and try to mimic them, right? The characters, the persons, what they have spoken in those videos or movies, just try to mimic them. Okay. Then whenever you try to mimic them, immediately your mind will process English naturally and your mind will feel very comfortable while listening them and while mimicking them, right? So I hope you got my point. So you can ask why it is important to mimic the characters by the persons, the native speakers in English. See, accent is most important thing in learning a language, right? So if you don't clear about your accent, it means you are not clear about learning English, right? So accent plays a crucial role in learning a language, right? So just try to watch more and more videos on YouTube or movies, right? Wherever you interested, right? So just whenever you try to watch them, try to mimic them, mimic native speakers or mimic some characters in movies immediately. Whenever you listen, just try to mimic them. Okay, then you'll find your mouth will understand. The mouth will get used to speak this language very naturally, and the flow will come with full of naturally, right? So mimicking and following this technique plays a crucial role, as I said. So try to follow this technique. And the second point which you have to follow: treat English like a language instead of treating it like a subject. Okay, so many of the people learn English like a subject, right? So it's not like a subject, and when you have studied from your first class to 10th and inter, and in your entire studies, the English subject will be there, right? So the most of the times, you might have learned some grammar rules and some words or some. Mostly, you might have learned about grammar in learning English. See, so you have treated this English like a subject. From now onwards, you should treat English like a language, right? So this is a medium of expressing our emotions and feelings to some other person, just like your native language, right? So if you want to tell something to other person, you use this, you use this your native language as a medium, right? So this is the English language is also same works like your native language, right? So you have to treat English like a language, not like a subject. I hope you got my point. So don't focus on vocabulary. Just try to focus on more speaking and practicing English. And over the time, you will feel very comfortable and you will feel more natural in speaking English, just like me. Right? So when I was at the beginner stage, I didn't used to feel very natural. I didn't used to feel very comfortable. But now I am feeling very comfortable. Now I am feeling very natural to speak English. Of course, I might doing some mistakes in learning English, but okay, it's fine. Over the time, I will definitely correct those mistakes and rectify those mistakes. So treating English like a language is very important, and from now onwards, you have to implement it. The third point which I have to follow: start watching everything in English on social media. Social media in the sense YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook or Twitter. Whatever you watch, just watch them in English. Right? So end of the day, you are trying to learn English language. You are trying to get the fluency in English, right? So then what you have to do, if you keep focusing on watching some videos in your native language only, how can you expect learning English? How can you expect fluency in English, right? So you have to follow this technique. You have to follow this rule. It is an important rule to follow in learning a language of English. Okay. So from right now, whatever you do, just change your entire mobile settings into English language, right? So whatever the apps that you're using, whatever the some follow the channels you're following, just try to follow English channels and English news, and where people speak English only, right? So following English and watching everything in English, and whatever reading also, right? So it is very important to learn English, getting the fluency in English. How it works, let me explain. Whenever you try to open your mobile, so just you will find some English quotes and you will find some English videos, and your mind will try to open them and try to watch them. Over the time, if you keep continue this process, definitely you will find very comfortableness, and you will find some natural way to get the accent of English, right? I hope you got my point. So following everything and watching everything on social media is very important nowadays, right? So don't always focus on watching videos in your native language. Already you know about your native language, and you can speak very beautifully in your native language. The end of the day, you have decided to speak English, right? So then what you have to do? Just you have to create the environment around you. Already I made a video on how to create environment English to learn English, and that video you can check in my channel. Definitely you'll find some solutions, and I made a brief video how to create English environment around you. Okay, so creating environment is very important. So changing everything, your mobile settings and following all these English speakers is also creating environment around you, right? So I hope you got my point. Just don't ignore it. Just try to follow this. Okay. The fourth point is, as we know, don't pressurize your mind to learn English. Just learn this language with full of interest and curiosity, right? So many of the people, they are facing so many problems, and they are getting their mind stressful, right? So while practicing English, while getting the fluency in English, see, you need not to pressurize that your mind that much of level. See, end of the day, it's a language. Anybody can learn this language. If I can, why can't you, right? So any kind of person learn this language, but the only thing you have to follow, you need to give that much of time to learn this language. You need to be that much of motivated and consistent. If you are consistent enough, if you are motivated enough, that's it. That is enough. You need not to pressurize your mind, right? So if you what happens if you feel pressure while speaking English, you will never get fluency in English, obviously, right? So now if you are at the beginner level, you are might facing some struggles. You might dealing with some problems in learning English. Of course, they are natural. And if you are not facing any problems, that means you are not learning English, right? If you are trying to come out of them and overcome those problems, it means you are keep progressing yourself in learning English, right? So at the beginner level, it's very natural, and not able to understand English, not able to get some words to speak English, and feeling very hesitate while speaking English in front of anybody. It is very natural, right? Over the time, it will be uh, solved, and this problem will be vanished. But the only thing you need to give time. Time changes everything, and if you give enough time to this language, definitely you will find the fluency in your language. You will find you will feel more comfortable in learning this language, right? So I hope you got my point. So don't feel pressure in learning English, right? If you feel pressure, you will never get fluency in English. The fourth point is have your own research and build curiosity to learn English, right? You heard me, right? So having your own research is very important, right? So you only can know about yourself, right? So where you are feeling comfortable and which are the things you feel more easy while doing, and which are the things you will feel more comfortable while doing, right? Like it's might be like reading, writing, or listening, or speaking, right? So in which aspect you are feeling comfortable and you're feeling very curious to do that work, right? So knowing about that thing is very important to learn English, right? So if you're feeling stuck and if you're feeling uncomfortable with doing that work, you cannot continue to that work in your in a long way, in a long run. So in a if you have to spend at least 2 to 3 months of time to learn this language. So if you are feeling very uncomfortable while doing this work, definitely you cannot be consistent to continue this process, right? So having your own research is very important. So how it works, right? So if you are feeling like some things like so if you do your own research and try to find some solutions, okay? So where you're feeling comfortable, and as I said, like listening, reading, writing. So just try to start with listening some mm, videos, or try to write your diary, and try to watch some movies on YouTube, and speak English every day for 5 to 10 minutes, right? So if you do all these works, and definitely you'll find some uncomfortable thing in all these things, okay? So then you can remove them, and you can replace this thing with another one, right? So if you keep practicing and if you keep having your own research, I hope you got my point. So definitely it will be very useful for you. Having your own research is very important. And the fifth point is be serious about learning English, okay? Yes, this is a very important thing which you have to follow. Don't treat English like a natural subject. Of course, it is also very natural subject, but it will be quite different comparatively with other languages, right? So don't treat English like a natural language, right? So it will be the every language will have the different approach and will have the unique accent itself. But the only thing we should know about it, be serious about learning English, right? So don't treat English like okay, I have to focus, I have to practice English. Okay, that's it. Uh, I practice English today, and I skip practicing English tomorrow, and after tomorrow I practice. Okay, don't you should not be like this. So once if you take the decision to learn English, you should not break the consistency, and you should not lose your motivation to practice English, right? So it is very important to have consistency and motivation, and having that serious mindset towards learning English, right? So treat English like a language, and don't treat it like a subject, as I said. And if you are really genuine to getting the fluency in English, to learning English, you have to be serious about learning English, okay? Don't skip at least one single day about practicing English, and watching, and creating that environment in your surroundings. It is very important, and I hope you got my point. So being that with that serious mind is very important nowadays in learning English, especially. Many of the people, they are trying to they are starting to learn English, but at the middle of the time they are quitting, right? So they are not able to continue this some more few days, right? So they are feeling like okay, I'm not able to get the fluency in English, and why should I continue this, right? So let's quit, let's stop it, right? So they are feeling like that. Big it is all happening with only without being serious about this language, right? So if you are also like that type of person, just change your mindset about being serious about learning English, okay? So it is very important to have it. And okay, this is all about this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing, and never stop speaking. Okay.